The Los Angeles Lakers are about to break the NBA as we have a massive new report that has dropped surrounding Rob Pelinka's next move that not only has huge implications but changes the outlook of not only Pelinka's trade plans but what's next for this team. I'm going to break down exactly what this report is and discuss what it means going forward as things have gotten very real. But not only that, we have a bunch of other updates to go over on this episode, folks. But before we get into it all, if you're part of the percentage who aren't subscribed to the channel, this is the place to be for daily Lakers content. And the Lakers are rolling. You guys' support has been rolling as well, folks. Time to go over today. Now, obviously, the trade deadline, it is inching closer and closer, a month and a bit away from that, a month or two, and things are starting to pick up. Now, let's dive into some new reports that have dropped, and it is surrounding a player that we've covered here on the channel before, but things have gotten even more real. So this dropped late last night, I believe it was, and you can see here from Evan Sittery, Keon Ellis will generate a very strong trade market as the Kings prepare to be one of the top sellers. The Lakers, Rockets, Timberwolves, and Warriors are among the contending teams expected to show interest in the versatile 3-and-D guard during trade season. So this is good for a couple different reasons. Now, obviously, I made a video on this a week or so ago when the initial report dropped, which we'll dive into, of course, about the Kings being willing to trade basically everyone on their team aside from a couple of different guys. But this is very interesting. Now, let's date back to last week when I made the video. You can see here, this is from Jake Fisher, and he said that the Kings are willing to trade anyone on their roster except for Keegan Murray and Knecht Clifford, which means Domas Sabonis, Zach LaVine, DeMar DeRozan, Russell Westbrook, and others, including Keon Ellis, are reportedly available. So I made a video then. The Lakers weren't fully linked, but you can, of course, put two and two together and assume and, figure out why the Lakers make sense here. And then, of course, Evan Sittery with the bombshell report here, revealing that not only are the Lakers involved, among a couple other contending Western Conference teams, but that Keon Ellis is actively on the market. Now, this makes things very interesting because we're going to dive into some potential opportunities here about a bigger trade that's even bigger than a lot of us thought. But let's touch on Keon Ellis. You can see here at the time of the article that this was posted, there was 15 appearances for the Kings. He had limited opportunities to shine. He has still figured out a way to increase his trade stock. So Keon Ellis is someone whose playing time has started to decrease as of this season. I mean, you look at his rookie year, didn't really play. His sophomore year, really solid. And the next year, of course, in 2024, 2025, really, really good. He averaged 8.5 points a game, basically, with a steal and a half. He is a 3-and-D wing, right? That's what he does. He shoots the three ball really well. He shot 42.8% from three on his career. Now, is it high volume? No, but it is a fantastic piece that would fit perfectly within this Lakers system, within JJ Redick's system. And even though, for whatever reason, the Kings are deciding to not play him at all, even though he's one of their better players, he still managed to contribute very, very well. And he has a great catch and shoot ability, which obviously fits perfectly for Luka Doncic, who thrives with player. We've seen with Rui Hachimura. He's made Rui Hachimura much better. He's made a lot of these guys, much better around him. And he's 6'6". He's very responsible defensively, and he can help not necessarily make up for the lack of defense this team has, but definitely put a dent into it because we know Marcus Smart. We also have some injury updates to go over in this video ahead of tonight's game. But, Marcus Smart, he was brought in to be that defender. And he's done a very, very good job with it, right? There's no doubt about that. But also, you need one more guy. And I love Keon Ellis. He makes the most sense in the world. And to have the Lakers heavily involved is a very good, sign. Ultimately, a very, very good sign. But I want to rewind a little bit back to this report from a week ago. And you might notice that, again, there's a couple guys that aren't available in trade, which is Murray and Knecht Clifford. Sabonis, LaVine, DeMar DeRozan, Russell Westbrook, they're available. But someone who wasn't named here that is also available, presumably, is Malik Monk. Now, Malik Monk is a very interesting one, and this has opened up some trade talks. Now, this is from a week or two ago. Here you can see here, Keon Ellis plus Malik Monk deal. And Lakers Legacy tweeted this before the reports have dropped that they're actually willing to trade him. And it's, of course, Malik Monk and Keon Ellis for Gabe Vincent, Maxi Kleber, Dalton Knecht, and the 2031 first-round pick. Now, this is very interesting. You see the tweet. It says, lock in Marcus Smart's protection, plus get J.R. Smith, Nick Smith Jr. fully healthy and things like that. You can reunite some of the Arkansas bros. Zach probably doesn't do this without the 2031 first. And I don't think Lakers would trade that first for two smaller guards, but it makes me raise an eyebrow. And this is where I want you guys to discuss in the comment section. Would you do this trade if it includes the 2031 first round pick? Because I think alone, Dalton Knecht is not enough to get Keon Ellis, right? There's going to be other teams out there that are willing, especially with the report now that the Rockets, the T-Wolves, and the Warriors, they all have, some of those teams have more assets than the Lakers, to which they can go ahead and package a trade better than just Dalton Knecht. So that's where if you're giving up your first round pick, especially your 2031 first round pick, probably unprotected or lightly protected, you would have to get another scorer back. Now, Malik Monk makes way more than Keon Ellis. Keon Ellis only makes $2.3 million, which is something that is kind of lost within all this. But at the same time, with Malik Monk, you're getting a bona fide scorer off of the bench. And you look at what this team needs off of the bench and in general in their starting lineup. You need one more defender, and you could argue you need one more spark plug off the bench. And Malik Monk is that. He's averaging 12 points a game this year, shooting, he's shooting okay, but he has always been known as a spark plug. And that's what this team could need. Now, in a trade like that, you're giving up Gabe Vincent, you're giving up Dalton Knecht, you're giving up probably Maxi Kleber for salary. I'm fine with a deal like this. Now, I don't know fully if I want to give up the 2031 first round pick that we own. I feel like you could almost get that in a, put that in a bigger deal. But if it comes trade deadline time and they are missing their defender, they miss out on some of the other trade targets that are available, this could be a package that, this team's already elite, breaks the NBA, of course, in air quotes, because they have the center position figured out. Of course, you have Ayton, you have Hayes, you have Drew Timme in the woodworks. LeBron James is slowly getting healthy, although he's out tonight. And if you want to keep Rui Hachimura, and a lot of these trades are involving Rui, this one isn't. This one's involving Keon Ellis and Malik Monk without giving up Rui. You keep the lineup that has gotten you to this point, which is a really good record in the Western Conference, among the top and among the best in the league outside of OKC and a couple others. So you keep your 5 starters, but then you add a spark plug defender off of the bench who fits perfectly in. You add a perfect piece in Malik Monk off of the bench. And then, of course, you can go ahead and get a backup point guard elsewhere at the trade deadline for maybe a second-round pick or something, and someone that isn't really, getting a ton of looks. So let me know down below what your thoughts are. Of course, the biggest question mark you can see here from Sam Quinn would be, with any Keon Ellis trade with the Lakers, is that there are at least a dozen teams that would love to have him, and the Kings are one of those teams that are never going to do the Lakers a favor. The tie is never going to them. They have to offer the most. DK ain't that. And that's why I said, if you're the Lakers and you want to try to convince yourself, okay, he's worth a 2031 first-round pick, you tell the Kings, okay, we'll give it to you, but add in Malik Monk, and we could see what happens there. So let me know down below what your thoughts are on all of this. It would break the NBA. The Lakers get even better than they already are, but at the same time, it would cost a lot. So let me know down below what your thoughts are on this. Couple of other things before I wrap up here. LeBron James yesterday was ruled as questionable for tonight's game against the Pelicans. That has been upgraded to out. So he is officially out tonight, which is a little bit unfortunate. And of course, look at some of the other injury reports. And again, Chris Haynes reported about an hour ago, LeBron is out. So LeBron is out. Marcus Smart, we suspect, will be out as well. And of course, Bronny James is with the South Bay Lakers. So we've played a bunch of games without LeBron James this year. You have to be able to have that next man up mentality. Got to keep winning these games and inching yourself closer and closer to the Thunder. But also, most importantly, just keeping yourself at the top of the Western Conference. And without LeBron, hopefully he's just managing an injury, which is what it seems to be. Get him some help, get everybody some help, and make this Lakers team better with a trade here soon. But that'll wrap it up, folks. The Lakers are rolling with or without a trade, and we'll keep you updated every step of the way. Thank you guys for watching. Cheers.